We are here to remember. We are here to stand up for what we believe in, for tolerance and for the good of humankind. But first of all, I want to start by expressing my deepest thanks, including to the Excellencies. I'm thankful to be here in the United Arab Emirates under the shaded palm of the Abraham Accords. As we come together, Jews, Muslims, Christians, people of all faiths, we're here together to spread this message across the region and the world with the brave and courageous Emirati leadership. I want to express my thanks to Mrs. Phyllis Greenberg Hardeman and Dr. Shmuel Rosenman, the President and Chair of March of the Living, and to all the March of the Living family for giving me their faith as ambassador in the Gulf. I want to express my thanks to our honorable guest, Eve Kugler, who made her way here all the way from the United Kingdom to share her Holocaust survival story and experience as a child during Kristallnacht. Eve, you are a true inspiration. In London, at the House of Lords, I accepted from you the torch of remembrance to carry on the memory of the Holocaust to the third generation, to my generation. And I'm so thankful and appreciate so deeply your wisdom and your dedication. And I'm so honored to be speaking here thanks to my dear brother and our gracious host, His Excellency Ahmed Obaid Al-Mansouri. Ahmed always says to me, "Don't call me Your Excellency." But Ahmed, I don't do this for diplomatic protocol. I do this because you are excellent. You are an excellent representative not only of the Emirati people, but of the faith of Islam and of our generation, a generation committed to tolerance and acceptance of mutual respect and understanding, a generation who can bring much light to the world, just as we did, my honorable friend, when we stood together at the gates of hell at Auschwitz concentration camp and lit the torch of remembrance side by side, making history together. Tonight, of course, in contrast, we remember a time when the darkness overcame the light, when the only light was from the flames of hatred which engulfed synagogues, Jewish homes, schools, and businesses. A night when the glass was shattered and whole worlds torn apart. A night when innocents were chased and murdered. A night when evil rejoiced, and a night when humanity stood by, turned a blind eye, stayed silent. My grandmother of blessed memory, Tamara Zisserman, endured the evil of the Holocaust. As a young girl in Belarus, the Jews of her town were rounded up and murdered in the surrounding woods. She was hidden by a Christian family, the Chodaseviches. At times, she had to hide in the chimney breast, so scared she couldn't speak, so scared that she couldn't breathe. Her fears were realized. She was found by the Nazis. She was sent to a labor camp, and the Chodaseviches were taken to the very spot where the rest of my grandmother's family and the Jewish community were murdered. And together with their baby in their arms, were also murdered by the Nazis in cold blood. This became known to me after my grandmother's passing, when I came across a shoebox containing her testimony and story of survival. a story which I knew so little about growing up. This became the inspiration behind the work that I'm pursuing today through the Neishlos Foundation and in partnership with the March of the Living, promoting Holocaust education to the next generation, the future of humanity. My grandmother's story is one of the many in the endless testimonies of the Holocaust, some of which were never able to be told, some of which were never shared, but none of which can be allowed to be forgotten. The voices of the Holocaust are fading. The eyewitnesses to those dark times are fewer each year. The evidence of the crimes is also fading as we fight to restore and preserve the remaining children's shoes in Auschwitz. And I'm so proud to say that Neishlos Foundation is leading the way of soul-to-soul campaign to restore 8,000 young children's shoes, and I do it together with March of the Living and Auschwitz Foundation. Yet, even as the testimonies fade, sadly, the hatred has not faded. Anti-Semitism and discrimination in all its forms have not faded. It is as bold and brazen and hate-filled as ever. We see it again and again in the Twitter feeds of pop stars and sports personalities. We hear it again and again from so-called human rights groups that ignore the very rights of Jews, deny their place among the nations, and even deny our very existence as a race. So, on this night, on Kristallnacht, the night of the November pogrom, we bring voices like Eve's to new audiences. To our distinguished guests here this evening and the young children she met today in Dubai, who may not have had the chance to hear firsthand from a survivor of the Holocaust. On this night, we work together, Jews, Muslims, and Christians. We send a message to the world that we will remember, we will teach the lessons of the past. Never again means never again. And on this night, we light up buildings in Dubai and in Dublin, in Vienna and Vancouver, in Munich and Manchester. And we send a message that we will not give in to hatred. As Martin Luther King Jr. put it, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. In just a few weeks, as Shmuel had mentioned, we will mark Hanukkah, the festival of lights, when the Jewish people all over the world will celebrate the miracle of redemption from evil and the survival of our people. We celebrate by lighting the Chanukiah, which commemorates the miracle of the oil, the determination of faith, and the great power of bringing light in the darkness. And tonight, we can also celebrate that we too have pushed away the darkness and brought new light to the world. So let there be light. Thank you.